Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw tips and tricks. Part two of this, and I'll put a link. Is not actually part one, it's just the same name, but not part two. So you won't know how we got to this point unless you watch part one. But I figured out something that would save a lot of time for people that, in the first video, I took a 3-point curve line and went from like right there to right there, and then gave it a little curve. And, some people might have trouble with that. So what I did, I just kind of thought of this. If you look, this first curve is over the first two lines. So I'm going to take my virtual segment delete key and delete the first two lines. And on this one, I can actually, well, yeah, I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to take all that out of the way. Now, I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool. And if we look, that thing is 12 by 1. Now, it's not a rectangle. So let's make a rectangle with our ratio unlocked, 12 by 1. And if we go shift select the other one and go EC, it put it right on top of it. Now, grab one of them and let's move it out of the way. And you see I got my nudge factor set on 1 inch, which is that. So we need a rounded corner there and a rounded corner. I actually took a screenshot because I did not save the file. I always suggest people make a screenshot. If you go right here with your ratio unlock, if you'll put like 1 and 1, there's your new shape. And then we'll move that down. So there's your new shape. And the corners are perfect. Then let's take away this line. And let's take a duplicate of that and move it down, but then take away that line. And there is our curve. Now, if you look, this thing stops here. So we're going to take the alternate key and just wipe through there and get all these open. So there's your first curve. And it's perfect. And then you can actually hit the plus key and go down and over, deleting these lines. Then hit the plus key and move it downwardly. Take the virtual segment delete key, and you're almost done. Now, if you look, this one goes all the way through. So we're going to take that, and we're going to take the Smart Fill tool. I think I used black on this and yellow in the middle. So I'm going to fill that in with black, okay? And then we need to take the virtual segment delete key. I'm going to hold down the Alt key, and I'm going to fill these in with yellow. I think I used yellow in that previous video. Whoop. Now, one thing I forgot to do is group this together. It's a little bit different, maybe because of the curvature. Now, let's set our nudge factor on like 10 inches. Well, can't type. And let's get the yellow, nudge it out twice. See, that's what happens when you smart fill a bad color. It actually puts another one on top. So let's put these back to the center. And let's take our yellow, shift select our yellow, and group them together. That way we only have to interactive fill tool one time. And we're going to put a little darkness on this end. That's way too much. That's about right. Group all this together, Control G. Now I'm working in the center of the page. Let's prove that with indexing lines. The square is in the center of the page. So now all we have to do is go Control D, alternate C. It's going to make it rotate, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Look at that. Oh, I forgot one step, and I think I forgot it in the first video. you need to take in this curvature of that other line. So what we're going to do for just a second, I guess the best way to do it would be to, I forgot to do this, is make it an outline, Control D, Alternate C, and rotate it that 90 degrees. And that line should be a curve. So what we could do, maybe this isn't any faster, but if you'll take that and get on the node, hold down the control button, take away this line, virtual segment delete key. So now we have that curve of that yellow when we spin it around. So now what I'm going to do is just delete this one. Well, I can't delete it. Well, you know what I can do? I can fill it in right now. So let's take the black. This might be more confusing than I thought. There's our two yellows, and see the curve now. You know what I'm going to do? What I should have done is I'm going to group this together, Control G. Take the Smart Fill tool. We'll go ahead and do the yellow first. And we'll go ahead and shift select both of them. Go up to Object and Control G. Let's go ahead and do the Interactive Fill tool. See, we're doing both of them at the same time. I missed the mark. When I'm doing this for myself, I never miss the mark because I'm thinking like right now what I need to do next. And then let's get the black, get a black Smart Fill. Okay, we added a line, so we have to delete that line and fill that in with black. That might be a little bit too much black, but there we go. Control G to group it, Control D to duplicate it. Alternate C is thinking the center's there, but the center's actually right there, and rotate it 90 degrees. Whoop, 90 degrees. Control D. Okay, whenever you make a mistake, it's almost better just to start over because you might have jiggled something, and there you have it. Control G to group it. I actually rotated it for the video at a half. It may be, you know what? Maybe the line's got to be the same. Maybe they look a little bit shorter now. But anyway, it's a good way to do it by rounding the corners off. That's what the video is really about. How to get that rounded corner in that box. I hope that helps somebody someday, and thank you for watching.